is going on, YouTubers? It is I, RedX, back with another review. You thought I was gone. Well, I didn't go pretty far. As a matter of fact, I didn't go anywhere. Yeah, that's right. I only took some time off so I could heal up. I mean, over the last week, whew, man, did I have some trouble with my voice. I could barely talk, so unfortunately, I had to take a breather, guys. I had to go away for a while until everything got better, and it finally did. So here I am with a brand new review. Today we are taking a look at Transformers Generations Thrilling 30th Jetfire. I gotta say, looking at the package, I've got a lot to talk about. We're going to start it off with the package, obviously, so here we go. Yeah, let's take a look at this bad boy, because as you can see, it is a very, very big box. Now, this is what you would consider probably an ultra-scale box packaging for a figure of that standard. Not really a liter, because honestly, I could probably fit 2 liters in this box. Yeah, you'll get it in a moment. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Very nice artwork. Whoever is in control of the artwork design on these packages is doing a phenomenal job. Keep it up. I can't wait to see more of these kind of box art drawings, especially on the Combiner Wars this year. It's going to be fun. He is officially number 21 out of 30. Of course, the 30th one will be the one that I will get to eventually when Takara decides to release her finally. Anyway, there's not much to go by. As you can see, it's pretty much your generic state-of-the-art packaging. Yeah, that's a lot to say. On the box, on the back of the box, we've got Jetfire with removable battle helmet. We got a bio for Jetfire, which I can get it all on camera. So there you go. If you want to read this, pause the viewer now. And that's that. So here's Jetfire. Like I said, removable battle helmet. He's got turbo thrusters. Yeah, that looks nice. It's very homage to Generation 1, isn't it? A very nice touch. And here's his jet mode, which is not what it was in G1, if I am not mistaken. There he's got arm-mounted cannons, which they look nothing like this. Trust me, you'll find out in a minute or so. Here is his stats. You can pause it if you'd like to read this. So there we go. That's the end of the package. Let's get that out of the way and bring in the big boy himself. Well, not really. There is a lot to talk about, and that is why I brought out my bigger tripod. Because originally, let me just pull it out real quickly. This is what I've been using for all my toy reviews. Yeah. So now that we're taking a look at this figure from way up high than our usual standards, which would be about right here where my fingers are pointing at, you can see all of Jetfire in this. And I gotta say, this figure is pretty great. I like this jet mode. I don't know exactly what kind of class it is. I'm guessing it's kind of a mix with a modern day jet with an F-22 Raptor. And I say that because it's got the panel linings and all those squiggly lines going across just like an F-22 Raptor. So, great, I guess. I love the tampograph of the Autobot symbol right here in silver rather than white. I think that looks just a little better. But that's not much to talk about when we get to robot mode. But still, looking at this from a top, you really wouldn't think that this is actually a Transformer until you reveal the bottom. All this robot kibble. Yawn. I am tired of people complaining about robot kibble. Yeah, I said it like that. Robot kibble. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. I mean, how much engineering could Hasbro really go with in this kind of cost? I don't know. I don't know how much it costs us for all this material, the engineering, and the paint work. I don't know. That's why I'm not in charge of Hasbro, because if I were, I'd probably run them out of business, unfortunately, because I would want everything to be top-notch. And unfortunately, that's not the case. But to their credibility, I will say this, even though this is an issue for me, all his weapons are decked out in this very nice chrome. What you saw on the packages, what was actually just red paint or red plastic with some black paint to show the gun barrels, no, it's all decked out in this nice chrome goodness. And I gotta say, you have to be very careful with this button right here because the slightest tap really does make this missile launch. It's very trigger happy. And just for the sake of not having to go retrieve this, I'm going to just set this aside. So, oh, look at that. It just came back in the picture. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Thing's got a mind of its own. Anyway, it is very nice. I love the actual detailing on this thing. I was about to say the paint job, but I'm like, what? Chrome? No! Chrome is evil. Oh, I hate chrome, but you know what? For how good this actually makes the figure look, I'm gonna let it slide. If it happens to chip, then it chips. If not, well, then I've got nothing to worry about, right? So there's his gun, and here's his weapons for the bottom, which I'll go ahead and assemble right here real quickly. Just simply peg them in like so. There's enough clearance to actually get the wheels to reveal at the bottom, which means there should be no issues with him rolling. And there should be no issues with scraping the chrome. Of course, that's not what we want, is it? We don't want to scrape the chrome. See? No problem. And then you've also got these. His arm-mounted cannons for his robot mode. I pretty much like to put them right here on the wings because I just think the wings look a lot better when they actually have some missiles or, you know, some kind of weapon to fire off like this. Pretty nice. And last but not least, we have this. His thrusters. 2 clips right here. 2 holes right here. Just gotta slide this down and line this up accordingly. It's kind of hard on camera, but I think it did snap into place, so just slide these back up. And there we go. Now Jetfire is all armed up. And of course there is a place to put his actual firing gun. Right here. Right here at the front. Yeah. You know what? I kind of like it. I'm not really going to complain about it. It is rather nice for what it is. I mean, where else could Jetfire probably perhaps store this away? I don't know. There's not much clearance on the bottom of the jet. I mean, given maybe they could have put a hole right here. I mean, there is kind of a hole, but that's not really going to fit. And there would be no way that this would actually roll on the ground with that gun sticking out. So there's that. Jetfire actually has an opening cockpit. This is not going to be easy to do. I've only done it one time without my fingernails. Just got to get really in there. It's a very nice tinted blue, very light, so, you know, you can see everything that's on the inside. And there's actually an opening at the bottom of this seat where you could probably fit like a little Micro Machine character or something in there. I don't know, maybe Spike from the Optimus Prime Masterpiece figure? Maybe? I don't know, I haven't tried. But there's that. There's not much more to talk about for this mode. I mean, pretty much your articulation for this mode is a standard wing folding out like that. So there you go. And that's really it. So I've got nothing else to say except how's about a size comparisons? Why not? Let's bring in the 2 partners that used to be. And of course, if you're going by Generation 1, these 2 used to be the best of friends. Yeah, used to be. There's that. Starscream looks pretty good. I mean, you know, it's not perfect since he's a deluxe, but oh well. And last but not least for this mode, let's bring in Springer, which is more of a standard size, comparing that he's a leader class. And Springer is not even on camera, but he's a Voyager figure. So there you go. Alright, now that we got this all out of the way, how's about we go ahead and get this guy into his actual robot mode. And I gotta say, for a figure of this stature, for a leader class, for a line that is not really directed towards kids, this is probably the weakest part about this figure. I don't know what to say. I like the figure. I think he looks great. He looks definitely Generation 1X, but all this hollow pieces that everybody talks about, I might as well get my say in. Yes, it is rather unfortunate that this figure is so hollow. Empty, as you can see. There's like no heft to this figure. For a leader class figure, this is rather disappointing. As a matter of fact, if I try very easily, one finger, my pinky, the weakest of all the fingers. Wow. Like I said, this figure is great to look at. He's not so great to look at from the side, unfortunately, because you got this. And yes, it's also on this side as well. Like I said, he's got the arm mounted cannons right here that you can just, you know, just peg them in like so. And there you go. Now he's loaded with weapons, right? And it hides those hideous gaps in his arms, so that's great. I believe Hasbro knows what they're doing when they think about it at times. He is a well-built figure, but poorly executed because of all the hollowness to him. Like I said, this is just like, seriously? We paid, what, $40 for this figure? $40 in retail? And the fact that he weighs about the same amount as a deluxe figure is rather unfortunate. Some good points, he does have light piping. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I don't know if it's really coming through at all. Yeah, it is. And his head very much resembles Jetfire, or Skyfire, if you want to call him that, from Generation 1. So, that's cool. Everything about him resembles G1 Skyfire, or Jetfire. And then, of course, there's also the tribute to his actual Generation 1 figure, which was nothing more than a Robotech figure. This mass piece can actually just peg in like so, and look at that. And it's very clean. It looks like this is his actual face. I'm not kidding. When I first saw prototype images of this figure, I didn't think he actually had a face underneath because of how flush this is to the actual head. That is cool. I really do dig that. That is nice. One thing that I gotta gripe about, a certain nitpick, is the fact that even though he does have an Autobot symbol on the inside of his cockpit, it is hard to see unless you show it in the light, because there is nothing in the background of the Autobot symbol. Nothing whatsoever. No white, no silver, no nothing. So it like gets lost in there, unfortunately. I know that Repro Labels has a Jetfire sticker sheet out, but I don't think it's worth $30 just to fix a few things that I could probably paint up myself in like 10 minutes flat. But still, overall, it is a nice figure. And you know what? Yes, I know somebody's going to point it out to me. I totally forgot to put back on his thruster pack. So why don't we just do that now? Just peg it in like so. Make sure both sides are tabbed in. And then fold back up the actual front of the jet. Yeah, he's a cheater. So what? You know how hard it would probably be for Hasbro to engineer this to the front? Oh well. As you can see, he can hold his weapons pretty nice because of all the clicking joints in his shoulders. They are ratcheted, so they will stay in place. Even if he is quite a hollow boy, as you can see, he's still holding the blaster without no issues. And this may actually weigh a little more than the actual figure itself. Okay, now, I've gone through a lot of stuff, but there's one thing that I almost forgot to do, and that was to show you the combination for all the weapons into one single blaster. Yes, it can do that. Something that I neglected to show you all, the instruction manual right here, actually points that out. I believe it's on the back, as a matter of fact. Here it is right here. As you can see, the weapons actually do combine into one blaster. And I gotta say, that looks pretty good. Now, I've only done this one time just to make sure I know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna show this off one time. So that will make 2 times that I've done this now. So what you want to do is, you want to take the peg, and thank goodness they didn't actually chrome these bits right here, so this should make it easier to actually slide in. Of course, the first time it wasn't. Just pegging in like so. There's a hole on both sides of the blaster. You want to take the big guns, and you want to peg them in like so, and make sure that missile is not in the actual firing blaster, because like I said, trigger happy. And then you take the small ones, his forearm cannons, and you peg them in. And I try not to peg them in all the way, because it is pretty hard to get these to unpeg once they're pegged together. But there it is. As you can see, it's decked out in shiny chrome, which this would be a weapon of mass destruction and blindness to the Decepticons in direct sunlight. So I'll go ahead and put in the missile now. And I will put it in Jetfire's hand. There we go. And it's got enough clearance. That's the best part about this. See this gap right here? I know a lot of people would complain about that, but due to that gap, it's got enough clearance to go past the elbow joint. And as you can see, he can hold it up all the way without any restriction. That is nice. Let's get to his articulation. That's what you want to know next, right? So, okay, here we go. Articulation is this. He's got a swivel head, but due to the fact that the pin is actually in the front rather than being in the middle of the neck joint, it just looks a bit weird. But, you know, I can deal with it. So there's that. He's also got a swivel up for the head. There's like no ball joint. There's no ball joint, okay? But with the way it's engineered, you can get a lot of movement out of it, so that's nice. Let's see. I'll pretty much say that his shoulders go in every position you want, but they do get hindered because of the wings. So, you know, it is what it is. He's got bicep swivel. His arms go in and out. He's got a 90 degrees pivoting joint at the elbow. No wrist rotation, unfortunately. No waist rotation, unfortunately. Legs go up about that far. They go back about that far. They go in and out more than the front and the back, which is neat, I guess. But they got a nice click. To their credibility, that is nice. I'm going to get addicted to that if I keep it up. Thigh rotation. 90 degree bend. Maybe a little more than 90 degrees. So there's that. And the feet pivot up and down. And that's it for your articulation on this figure. Overall, Jetfire is fantastic, and the design on him is surplus. The problem is just the execution of this figure is what really gets to me. I'm not bothered by the fact that he is not painted in certain areas where it should be, especially with what they showed on the back of the packaging. Like, this area was red, these areas should have been black, and you know, the guns shouldn't actually be chrome, but oh well, it makes the figure look nice, especially in direct sunlight, which is cool, but if you're not careful, you might blind yourself for a few seconds. So, let's end this review with a size comparison. So here he is with Takara's release of Generation Skybite, painted up to look like the actual car robots in disguise figure back in 2001. So there's that. If you feel like picking up this figure, go ahead and get him. I know for certain that not many places have this figure around anymore. As a matter of fact, all the stores are getting ready for Combiner Wars, which means that the Thrilling 30 is about to head out the doors or end up in the discount department. So you might actually find him there. And if you do, if you find him for a better price than actual retail, then yeah, sure, get him. That's an instant buy right there. Because minus the hollow bits and a few other flaws that this figure does have, this figure is actually great, and it is the best Skyfire, Jetfire figure out of the whole entire Transformers, Generations, Classics, and all those other sublines of this series. That's it. So, you wanted my opinion, there's my opinion. Go get him. So that is it, everyone. I've got nothing else to say. Thanks for watching this review. If you haven't already, hit the like button, comment down below. I'll answer when I got time. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more RedX reviews from yours truly. Until next time, I'll see you later.